Take a look here, because today you'll learn something that you probably will never use ever in your life, because I can tell you, well, I can tell you yes and no. Let's say I've got this. Remember, we talked about this, I think, before with money. Okay. If you talk about this, you know that you don't ever really see that, right? Why? Jaden?
Because they don't have like a coin.
Yeah, we don't have a coin. This is 1/10, right? A dime is 1/10 of a dollar. This is how many pennies you have, and each penny is 1/100th of a dollar. This bad boy right here is actually 1/1000th of a dollar. Now, I said there is a couple places where you see them. One place, and I don't know if anybody took me up on it, when you go past shell, you'll see the last digit way at the end there that doesn't change is always 9/10 or whatever it is. Okay, that would be, if there's a 9 up there, that would be this 9/1000th of a dollar. Now, this does come up in other places, not in Illinois, but it does come up with taxes every once in a while. In Michigan, where I'm from, originally, when they vote for taxes, they talk about how many mills. And write that down, because if the book ever asks you for a mill, what a mill is that 1,000th place. It's that third place after the decimal with money that they talk about. So 1 mill is 1/1000th of a dollar. And to you, that's not a lot of money, but when you start talking about like the government when it taxes us, when you talk about the government budget being in the trillions of dollars, which is, like, let's do how many digits a trillion is. What is this? That's my billions. This is millions, billions, trillion dollars. Okay. When you start with something that, millions, billions, $3 trillion. When you talk about something this big, if you're talking about 1/1000th of it, that means all you have to do is knock off this many digits, and 1/1000th of $3 trillion would actually be $3 billion, which is a lot of money, okay? So when you talk about the gas station, 9,000th of a dollar is not very much, but 9,000ths of $3 trillion is a lot of money. So it doesn't come into play unless you're talking about a lot of something. And we don't use it very often other than in taxes and in gas stations. But just know that if you ever hear the word mill, and it's kind of confusing because when you think of mill, you think of millions, right? That starts with M-I-L-L. But in the metric system, the prefix M-I-L-L is in a millimeter. What is a millimeter but 1,000th of a meter? It's not a million. Or a millennium. What's a millennium? Elijah? 1,000 years. So in the real world, M-I-L-L stands for 1,000. A lot of times we think about it in money, we think about a million, which is this big number here, but it's not. It's usually talking about thousands. So a milligram is 1,000th of a gram or whatever. Now, the other thing they talk about in this little section here is just making sure that you know how to name numbers, and I think we've talked about this, so we won't spend too long on it. If you have this 8.036, and I asked you to read or write that number in words, you do the same way. How do you say this number? How do you say or read or write that number there? Kate?
8,000.
Let's start off with that. First of all, step number 1 is you say the number in front. Say number in front of decimal. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is the number 8. Quotation mark. It is 8. Then what do I say?
8.
For the decimal, I always use what word? Lance? Right. For the decimal, you always say and. So when I'm writing this out, I go 8, and that tells me there's a decimal point there. Now what? Lance?
36,000.
Right. Next thing is you say the number after the decimal. Hashtag. The number after the decimal is 36. Little hyphen there because I believe that's where it goes. And then Lance said it, what's the very last thing you say? Whatever place the last digit is in. You say what place the last digit is in. And since this is the tenths, the place, the hundredths, the place, and that is the thousandths place. So that's what you write down, thousand, THS, thousandths. 8 and 36 thousandths. I suppose we should practice that. How about, if I asked you to write or say that number, a little quicker to say it than it probably is to write it, you would tell me, Jenna Dervis,
75 and 6.
yeah, just 600s. You don't have, you can say 6 100ths, but just 600s would be fine. 75 and 600ths. How about this? Love that one. What would that one be? Grace.
101 and 105.
Yes, 101 and 101 thousandths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. How about this one? So. Down there, Drew.
17 and 36. 36 tenths.
No, this is the tenth place, this is the hundredths place. Third, 17 and 36 hundredths. How about last one there, Laney.
4,003 and 2 tenths.
4,003 and 2 tenths. This, ladies and gentlemen, concludes today's ever exciting and more than popular lesson on decimals.